What's going on, everyone? It's Del Jr. 2 back here with another YouTube video, and we have yet another roster update. The 8th inning program came out, and also there's some new tops now moments. So Shane Bieber got a +1 overall, so now he's a 90 overall. He got +3 to his stamina, +10 to his hits per 9, +3 to his strikeouts per 9, -5 to his walks per 9, and +13 to his homers per 9. Garrett Cole got a bit roughed up in his start against the Rays, so he got -2, so now he's at 89 overall. He got -3 to his stamina, -5 to his hits per 9, -4 to his strikeouts per 9, and -10 to his homers per 9. Aaron Nola got a +1. He got +1 to his stamina, +6 to his hits per 9, and +3 to his strikeouts per 9. Kershaw got a +1 overall. He got -3 to his stamina, +5 to his hits per 9, and +1 to his strikeouts per 9. Kenta Maeda has been really good, so he got +19 to his stamina and +1 to his hits per 9. Yu Darvish is staying at 85, but he got +2 to his stamina and -1 to his walks per 9. Jack Flaherty got a stamina reduction, but he got +4 to his hits per 9 and -2 to his strikeouts per 9. Sonny Gray got a -1, so now that brings him down to 85. He got -2 to his hits per 9, strikeouts per 9, and also walks per 9. Max Fried got +2, so he's at 83 overall, and he's inching closer and closer to diamond. He got +12 to his stamina, and +4 to his hits per 9. Luis Castillo got a downgrade. He got -4 to his hits per 9. Zach Gallen got +8 to his stamina, +4 to his hits per 9, and -3 to his strikeouts per 9. Chris Paddock did not get an upgrade or a downgrade to his overall, but he did get -4 to his hits per 9 and -2 to his strikeouts per 9. Brandon Woodruff got +7 to his stamina, and that brought his overall to 81. Tyler Glasnow is now a gold, as he got +3 to his stamina, +5 to his hits per 9, and +4 to his strikeouts per 9. Patrick Corbin got a downgrade. He got -7 to his hits per 9, -5 to his strikeouts per 9, and +1 to his walks per 9. Carlos Carrasco is still an 80 overall, but he got -1 to his stamina and +5 to his hits per 9. As for relievers, Chad Green is still at 83 overall. He just got +1 to his hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9. Emilio Pagan just got a position change. Amir Garrett got a +7 overall, so he's a silver. He got +14 to his hits per 9 and +2 to his strikeouts per 9. Trevor Rosenthal also just got a position change. Matt Strahm got a +5 overall. He got -13 to his stamina, but +11 to his hits per 9 and walks per 9, and he got a -10 to his homers per 9. Caleb Ferguson got -14 to his stamina, but +2 to his hits and strikeouts per 9. Matt Whistler got a +1. He got +22 to his hits per 9. That's a pretty big jump right there. Lucas Sims also is now at 72 overall. He got +9 to his hits per 9 and +3 to his strikeouts per 9. As for closing pitchers, Drew Pomeranz just got a position change. Same thing with Josh Staumont. Same thing with Anthony Bass, Jesse Biddle, Richard Rodriguez. It looks like those were all just position changes to closing pitcher. As for catchers, Austin Nola got a +1. He got +8 to his contact versus right, +4 to his power versus right, and also +5 to that vision. James McCann got a +1. He got -3 to his contact versus righties, +10 to the contact versus lefties, +3 power versus righties, and also +5 to his discipline. Yan Gomes is now a silver. He got +12 to his contact versus right, +10 to the contact versus left, +6 for the power versus right, minus 9 to the power versus left, plus 11 to the vision, and minus 4 for the discipline. Roberto Perez got a downgrade. He got minus 6 to his contact versus right, minus 10 to his contact versus left, minus 4 to both the power versus right and left, minus 2 to the vision, and also plus 6 to the discipline. As for first basemen, we have our first brand new diamond here in Luke Voigt. He got plus 14 to his contact versus right, minus 14 to the contact versus lefties, plus 9 power against righties, plus 3 vision, and minus 6 to the discipline. Pete Alonso's been struggling, so he got another downgrade. He's now at 81 overall. He got minus 4 to the contact versus right, minus 8 to the contact versus left, minus 7 to the power versus righties, but plus 8 to the discipline. Anthony Rizzo is still in 81, and he got plus 5 to his power versus righties, and plus 3 to his discipline. Eric Hosmer got plus 5. He hit that grand slam when the Padres were just hitting grand slams day in and day out. So he got plus 8 to his contact versus right, minus 2 to his contact versus left, plus 5 to his power versus right, plus 10 to his power versus lefties, plus 11 vision, and minus 7 to his discipline. Dominic Smith got a plus 3 overall. He got plus 12 to his contact versus right, plus 10 to his contact versus left, plus 3 to his power versus right, plus 4 to his vision, and plus 10 to his discipline. Rhys Hoskins is so close to becoming a gold. He got plus 3 to his contact versus right, plus 17 to that contact versus left, and plus 6 to the power versus lefties. Brandon Belt got plus 12 to his contact versus right, and minus 6 to his contact versus left, so now he's at 76 overall. Miguel Cabrera is a silver player now. He got minus 14 to the contact versus right, plus 7 contact versus left, plus 5 power against righties, plus 6 vision, and plus 8 to his discipline. As for second baseman, David Fletcher got a plus 1, so he's inching closer and closer to becoming a new diamond. He got plus 17 for his contact versus right, minus 5 to the contact versus left, and a plus 2 to his vision. Brandon Lowe is still at 82 overall, but he got minus 11 to his contact versus right, plus 7 to his vision, and plus 13 to his discipline. Jose Altuve is inching closer to becoming a silver, as now he's at 80 overall. He got a minus 6 to his contact versus right, minus 10 to his contact versus left, minus 5 to his power versus righties, minus 4 to power versus lefties, and also minus 3 to his vision. Jonathan Scope got a plus 1 overall. He got plus 9 contact versus righties, plus 4 contact versus lefties, plus 6 power versus righties, and finally minus 6 to his power versus lefties. Kike Hernandez got a minus 2 overall. He got minus 13 for his contact versus lefties and his discipline, minus 5 for his power against lefties, and minus 6 for his vision. As for Brad Miller, he got a nice upgrade here. He got plus 12 to his contact versus righties, plus 7 to his power versus righties, plus 6 to his vision, and plus 7 to that discipline. Nick Madrigal here got plus 18 to his contact versus righties, plus 6 to his contact versus lefties, and also plus 7 to that vision. For Jose Peraza, he got a downgrade. He got minus 15 to the contact versus lefties, minus 3 for the power against righties, and minus 2 for the power against lefties. As for third baseman, Manny Machado is now at 89 overall, so he's inching closer to being a 90 overall. He got plus 8 to his contact versus right, plus 13 to his contact versus left, plus 10 to the power against righties, and plus 5 for his vision. Matt Chapman is still at 85 overall, but he got a nice power boost against righties of plus 15, so that brings his power up to 90. He got minus 7 for the power versus lefties, minus 9 for the vision, and minus 16 for the discipline. Justin Turner also got a downgrade here. He got +3 contact versus righties. For his contact versus lefties, it went down 15. Power versus righties went down 3, and power versus lefties and his vision both went down 4. Brian Anderson got a slight downgrade here. He got -14 to his contact versus right, -7 to his contact versus left, +7 to his power versus righties, -7 to his vision, and +4 to his discipline. Evan Longoria got a +1 overall. He got +7 for his contact versus righties and lefties, -4 to his power against righties, and +7 to his power against lefties. Rafael Devers got a -1 overall, so he got -9 to his contact versus left. Power versus right went up 7. His power versus lefties went down 4. His vision went down 7, and also his discipline went down 8. Renato Nunez got a +2 overall. He got +5 to his contact versus right, +15 to that power versus right, -3 to power versus lefties, and also -7 to his vision. So if you're looking for a power bat in like a showdown, you could go with him. Austin Riley got a +3. He got +16 contact versus righties, -4 to his contact versus lefties, +5 to his power against righties, +8 to his vision, and +4 to his discipline. As for shortstops, Trey Turner is now at 87 overall. He got a +11 boost to his contact versus righties. He got +14 contact boost to contact versus lefties, +3 power against righties, and also +8 for his power against lefties. Corey Seager got an upgrade. He got +7 to his contact versus right, -1 to his contact versus left, +5 for his power against righties, -6 to his power against lefties, and -2 to his discipline. For Xander Bogaerts, he's still at 83 overall, but he got +11 to his contact versus lefties, +4 to his power against righties and lefties, -3 to his vision, and -5 to his discipline. Didi Gregorius is now a gold, and I absolutely love to see it. He got +12 to his contact versus righties, -8 for the contact versus lefties, -3 for the power versus right, +4 for the power versus left, +3 for vision, and also +3 for discipline. Jake Cronenworth got a little boost here. He got +13 to his contact versus righties, +16 to his contact versus lefties, +9 to his power versus righties, and also +5 to that vision. Jorge Polanco got -18 to his contact versus righties, +13 to his contact versus lefties, -4 to his power against lefties, +6 to his vision, and -18 to his discipline. So he took a pretty big discipline hit there. Alberto Mondesi took a hit here. He got -13 for his contact versus righties, -12 to his contact versus lefties, and -5 to his discipline. But he is really fast, so if you want like a speed guy on your bench, you could go for him, but he's not really that good of a hitter. Brandon Crawford also stayed at a 72 overall. He got +11 to his contact versus right, -7 for the contact versus left, +6 power versus righties, and -4 to his vision. As for left fielders, Juan Soto got to that 90 mark now. He got +7 to his contact versus right, +10 for his contact versus lefties, +5 for his power versus righties, +13 for his power versus lefties, +6 to his vision, but -7 to his discipline. Marcell Ozuna also had a pretty good week, so he got a +2 to his contact versus righties, +15 to his contact versus lefties, +8 to his power versus lefties, -3 to his vision, but +6 to his discipline. Teoscar Hernandez got that gold status. He got +7 to his contact versus righties, +3 to the contact versus lefties, +2 to the power versus righties, +8 to the power against lefties, and +3 to the discipline. Jesse Winker is now a 78 overall, and he got +3 to his contact versus righties and his discipline, plus 10 to the contact versus left, plus 13 to the power versus right, plus 7 to the power versus left, and finally minus 9 to the vision. David Peralta got a minus 3, so he went from a gold to a silver. He got minus 10 for the contact versus right, minus 6 for the contact versus left, minus 3 for the power versus righties, minus 7 for the power versus lefties, and minus 4 to the vision. Kyle Schwarber stayed at a 77 overall, but he got minus 9 to the contact versus left, plus 5 for the power versus righties, plus 4 to the power against lefties, and minus 5 for the vision. Brett Gardner got a bit of a downgrade here. He got minus 11 to his vision, but plus 10 to his discipline. And Kyle Tucker got to bronze. He got plus 11 for his contact versus lefties, plus 10 for the power versus lefties, plus 5 vision, and also plus 6 discipline. As for center fielders, we also have a new diamond here in Starling Marte. He's now at 85 overall. He got plus 10 to his contact versus lefties, plus 4 to his vision, and also plus 7 to his discipline. Ketel Marte is now at 85 overall. He got minus 8 to his contact versus righties, plus 9 to his contact versus lefties, minus 4 to his power against righties, minus 5 to his power versus lefties, plus 2 to his vision, and minus 9 to his discipline. Luis Robert is now officially a gold player. He got plus 4 to his contact versus righties, plus 7 to his contact versus lefties, plus 4 to his power versus righties, and plus 9 to his power against lefties. So I think he's going to be a great player for years to come since he's so young. Kevin Kiermaier is now a gold player. He got plus 4 to his contact versus righties, minus 7 to his contact versus lefties, plus 4 to his power versus righties, minus 3 to vision, and also plus 15 to discipline. Ian Happ here is now a gold player. He's been having a pretty solid year. He got plus 2 to his contact versus right, plus 13 to the contact versus left, plus 5 to the power against righties, plus 14 to his vision, and also plus 5 to his discipline. Victor Reyes got a plus 3, so he got plus 17 for the contact versus righties, minus 5 for contact versus lefties, plus 12 for power against righties, and plus 2 for his vision, so that brings his vision up to 69. AJ Pollock is still a 78 overall, so he got minus 14 to contact versus righties, plus 10 for his contact versus lefties. For his power, he got plus 4, and for his vision, he got minus 1. Also, Aaron Hicks got a bit of a downgrade here. He got minus 11 to his contact versus lefties, minus 7 to his power against righties, minus 5 to his power against lefties, and then plus 10 to his discipline. And then for right fielders, Cody Bellinger stayed at an 88, but he got minus 10 to his contact versus right, minus 9 to his contact versus left, plus 11 power against righties, minus 6 power versus lefties, plus 4 vision, and minus 9 to his discipline. Christian Yelich got a big downgrade here. He got minus 22 to his contact versus righties. That's a huge hit right there. Minus 8 to his power against righties, minus 10 to his vision, but plus 4 to his discipline. As for Jason Hayward, he's now a gold player. He got plus 16 to his contact versus righties, minus 13 to his contact versus lefties, plus 14 to his power against righties, and plus 14 to his discipline. Michael Conforto got a plus 1 overall, so now he's at 81 overall. He got plus 14 to his contact versus righties, plus 7 to his contact versus lefties, minus 5 to his power versus righties, plus 5 to his power against lefties, and minus 5 to his discipline. Charlie Blackmon got a minus 2 overall. He got minus 11 to his contact versus righties, and minus 5 to his vision. Will Myers is still a silver, but he's 1 point away from becoming a gold. He got minus 5 to his contact versus righties, plus 30 to his contact versus lefties. That's another huge jump. +5 to his power versus lefties, +3 to his vision, and -7 to his discipline. Hunter Renfroe got a -1 overall, so he got -15 to his contact versus lefties, -3 to his power against lefties, but +6 to the vision. And Ramil Reyes it's still a 76 overall, but he got +11 to his contact versus righties, -6 to his contact versus lefties, and -6 to the power against lefties. And then also the new 8th inning boss came out today. So in that, the big bosses are Ivan Rodriguez, Ty Cobb, and Clayton Kershaw. And you get all of those at 300 stars. So for Ivan Rodriguez, this looks like a really good card for a catcher. He has 115 contact versus righties, 112 contact versus lefties, 93 power, and 87 power with that 105 vision. And also his fielding is really good. So, and also for a catcher, 68 speed is pretty good. So this card definitely looks good. Next up is Ty Cobb in the outfield. He's a center fielder. He has diamond hitting and diamond defense. He has that 125 contact versus righties and lefties. And also he can still hit bombs. He has 90 power versus righties and lefties. And then also he has not only good fielding, but also that speed is amazing as well at 99. So he can hit, field, and steal. And then lastly here we have Clayton Kershaw. He has 113 stamina, 102 hits per 9, and 110 strikeouts per 9. That 4-seam fastball reaches 94, slider reaches 88, 12-6 reaches 72, changeup reaches 85, and sinker reaches 92. And then as for his quirks, it looks like he does not have outlier, so that's something to think about, but he does have a whole bunch of other things like untouchable, control artist, workhorse, and also pressure cooker. And then so at 150 stars, you can get future stars Ian Anderson from the Braves. You can get 96 overall Sean Murphy, and also a 96 overall starting pitcher Mitch Keller. And then there's also some new Tops Now moments from last week. So for the Tops Now moments for August 24th to August 30th, with Lucas Giolito, you have to finish off his no-hitter, so you have to pitch 3 innings and not give up a hit. For this one, with Donovan Solano, you have to hit 1 home run. So with the Padres here, you just have to walk it off. For the Mets Yankees, you have to hit a walk-off homer as well. For this one, you have to hit 1 homer with Eric Sogard. And then finally here with Didi Garcia, you have to pitch 6 innings, not give up a run, and you cannot walk a batter. And then lastly, for the 8th inning, there's this Torrey Hunter program. So for this, you have to tally 3 hits, and one of them has to be an extra base hit. For this one, you have to tally 5 hits in 3 games and 2 extra base hits in that time span. You have to tally 3 hits and 2 extra base hits for this one in 1 game. So that one I could see being a bit difficult. For this one, it's tally 7 hits, 2 extra base hits, and 1 homer in 3 games. And then finally hit 1 homer. That one should be relatively simple if he has some power. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment down below who you're going to pick in the 8th inning, and also who you think is going to go diamond in next week. Also this weekend on MLB The Show, if you guys watch Twitch, you can come by my stream, get some free packs, because Twitch shops will be enabled this weekend for all Twitch streamers that stream MLB The Show.